Well, good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. You're watching Firewood at the Furnace, and if it's your first time here, my name is Brad. Welcome to the channel. If you watched last week's video, you know that we were cutting on that great big pile of ash rounds. To me, it's a great big pile of ash rounds. We had five rows of big stacks of rounds, and you saw us filling the dump trailer and stacking. So I told you that by this week's video, I should be pretty much through that stack, that big pile. I'll take you over here in a minute and show you the progress. We have had some complications this week with weather and a few other things. And I also told you last week that we would be getting a load of tree service hickory. Well, the hickory didn't happen, but we did get a load of tree service wood. And I'll show you that here in a second. And we're gonna do some cutting, some splitting, and some stacking today. So you get to see a variety today. So stick around and we'll show you what's going on. So it's going to be a scorcher today. It's supposed to get up near 88, 90 degrees. It's already very humid outside. And so we started early this morning. It's about 8 o'clock right now. I got everything set up the way I wanted. I got over here about a half hour ago. As you can see, the bundle stand is full after the clean out last week. And we'll walk around here and show you what's going on with this ash pile. So I did get over here and get a whole nother dump trailer filled up and stacked. So that was 2 full dump trailers, and there was 5 rows of ash here, and this is what we're down to. Probably close to a cord maybe there, but that's all that's left. So we are making progress there, and I'm confident that that will be done here in the next day or two. So speaking of the 2 dump trailer loads, this is where we started on last week's video, and we got to about here. But since then, we've filled up a few more sections. And what's here right now from 2 dump trailer loads is 2, 4, 6, 8 face cords plus that, which is about probably 3/4 of a face cord. So just about 3 full cords of wood in 2 dump trailer loads. And I think we'll probably get another cord. So we'll end up with somewhere around four cords there out of that pile of logs that was laying here. Now I did cut some out of that, probably a cord that's already stacked up in other rows, and then I got rid of some of the rough stuff. So there was probably 6 cords in that load, I would say. But here's the load we got from the tree service this week. It was about 3/4 of a load. Some really good sized stuff. It's all ash, standing dead ash tree. It was close by, so he called me and I went and got it. As you can see, it's barkless. Most of it's barkless, and what's not barkless is completely falling off. So that stuff will be ready to go very soon. So today the plan is to fire up the saws. We'll get that little bit of ash cut into rounds and get it stacked over here next to this cherry and maple that we still need to get to. And then we're going to go back over to where the splitter's already set up and knock out, hopefully, the rest of those ash rounds. So you'll get to see the saws run, the splitter run, and if we have time, I'll show you the stacking at the end and see how much progress we get and how far down the row we can go. Because if you've been following along, I'm hoping to have this last row filled up by the end of June. And here we are, halfway through the month, and I guess I'm about halfway through the row. So I mentioned before in the beginning of the video that we had some weather problems, and it rained again overnight and early this morning. But we've had a couple days of rain off and on, and just some not ideal weather for being over here working in the mud. So a couple of evenings that I had planned on coming over and doing work didn't happen. So today I'm hoping to make lots of progress like we did in last week's video, and I hope you'll stick around and come along with us. So I'm sure you saw there as I was cutting, the bark falling off this stuff. And every time I cut around, it just rolled right off. So this is all really good dead dry ash. And I guess that sounds kind of funny, doesn't it? Good dead dry ash. But it's really good for firewood because it won't be long until it's ready to sell, and fall's closer than we think. So the more firewood the better, especially this year. I believe I think firewood is going to be in high demand. And I've got some more logs marked up here all ready to cut. I'll speed you up, see how much we can get through, and start stacking it up. I normally like to try to keep the to cut the larger diameter stuff first, so I can put those rounds on the bottom and not have to lift them, and then the smaller stuff will be towards the top. It also makes it better when you go to split it, because you can lift the smaller stuff off the top, and when the big stuff's on the bottom, you can roll it right over to the log lift. So I'm kind of picking through and trying to do the bigger stuff first so I can stack that on the bottom of the pile. Well, this humidity sucks. The temperature's not too bad, but it's probably 95% humidity today. And I'm just sweating like a pig. Shirt's soaked, sweat keeps running in my eyes. So first, it's the hottest day that we've had here this year so far, because of the humidity. I've only got a couple more logs here left to cut. I've been through about a tank and a half of fuel on the 261. And I've got a mountain of bark here that I'm going to have to clean up. I do have a place I can take it to get rid of it, but I'm just curious, does anybody do anything with their bark? I mean, this ash is just peeling off like in huge sections, and I don't know if it's useful for anything else or not. But I'm going to get this sweat out of my eye so I can get back to cutting again, and then we'll start stacking and splitting. That load is done. That load is all cut and stacked. This is what we ended up with. All good looking ash. Now everything that's still laying on the ground is all stuff that didn't make it through quality assurance. It's either too short, too knotty, it's a crotch, or it's got one of a variety of issues with it that I'm not going to deal with it. Over time, I've gotten more selective as to what I process. I like to process good looking firewood, and the curved, the stuff that has hard bends in it, the crotch pieces, and just the nasty stuff I choose not to deal with at this point because I have plenty of supply. Now, if I didn't have the supply that I have, I would certainly process and fight all the wood that I could get just to have the quantity. But right now I'm in a position where I can choose quality over quantity. So that's what I'm doing. So all this stuff, these chunks and stuff, they'll go in a scrap bin, one of the IBC totes, and you know, I sell that for bonfire wood or whatever for a cheaper price. But the sun has come out. which means the pop-up tent is coming out, and I'm going to fire up the splitter. I'll show you a little bit of that footage as we work through the rest of this ash pile. Goodness gracious, this should have been a evening job or a cloudy day job. I am absolutely exhausted. But the pile of rounds is gone. That's all the junk that came off the splitter, and that's what ended up in the trailer. So I guessed it to be about a cord. It's probably a little over cord based on how full the trailer is. But I have a new plan. The stacking is not going to happen right away. I'm going to do like I did in last week's video, and I'm going to take a little break. I think I'm going to go home and change my clothes and jump in the pool, chill out, cool off for a little while. And then this evening, as the sun starts to go down, we'll back the dump trailer over here, have a couple cold ones, and take our time stacking in the shade. So that's the plan. I'll get back to you as soon as we start stacking. But for right now, I'm going to go take a dip in the pool. Well, I am back and I'm all rehydrated, a fresh change of clothes, a nice little dip in the pool, and I did sit down and have some dinner with the family. So as you can see, the dump trailer's relocated. It's back over here, and we got quite the mountain of scraps here. Mom is out there mowing. Taylor is out there riding around the field on the four-wheeler. So I don't think I'm gonna have much help stacking that load of wood. But the sun is starting to go down. We're starting to get a little shade coming in off the tree line. So I'm gonna take you over here. I got the trailer backed up to where we're gonna be stacking and start stacking. All right, so I would say my estimation of a cord was pretty good. We finished off the stack on the back over there. So we got 1, 2, and then this was the third stack. So if you add on what we finished the first row with, I think it actually ended up being a little bit more than a cord. So that worked out good. Taylor did come over and help me stack a little bit. She rode the four-wheeler till it ran out of gas. So she learned how to switch it to reserve today, so that she can get a little more mileage out of it. But she brought it back over and I topped it off, so she's got more gas now, and I told her as soon as we got the wood stacked that she could continue riding. So she came over and helped get that done, and she's off. So all in all, another really good day here in the yard. We battled some heat today, worked through that, took a little break, cool ourselves down. But everything that I wanted to accomplish today got done. We got that 3/4 of a load that was laying from the tree service all bucked up and stacked. Got the rest of the big pile of ash split, loaded it in the trailer, and got it stacked. So job well done. That's going to be it for today. We're still got a lot to split over there. We'll probably get to the cherry next time, and I got some cleanup to do here in the yard, so that'll be a project I need to tackle here real soon as well. Check out some of the other videos here at the end. I hope you enjoyed it, and we will see you next time. Have a great week, everybody.